Hello. Welcome to another Saturday Meditative Reflections with Dave. I appreciate you being here with me today. Today, I'd like to talk about the theme of this channel, which is to forgive, to grieve, and to love. And I actually came across this because I was checking my email, I don't know, 20 minutes ago and just doing some things that I needed to get done. And I came across a notice of a death of one of my high school classmates, and I uh, I was naturally, grieved, and not just because he was a classmate, but because he was a friend of mine that lived in my neighborhood, and I was sad and felt the loss, and it's hard to believe, that someone that is my age and in my class has died, and it just kind of struck me and hit my heart. And then after I thought about that and felt that grief, then I felt some need to forgive myself. It turns out that this friend of mine, I mean, we weren't great close friends, but we were friends because we were in the same neighborhood and we played ball together and things like that. But I remember one time not being very nice to him. And as I recall it in my colored memory, it was as a result of someone not being very nice to me, also from the neighborhood. And as I remember it, the person that wasn't so nice to me, I felt intimidated by and bullied by, and didn't respond to him in the way that I think would have been appropriate. Standing up to a bully is usually the only way that they stop. But I didn't have the courage at the time and didn't stand up to him. And so I kind of took it out on my friend who I noticed just recently died. And so, in addition to grieving the loss of his passing, I felt the need to forgive myself because I felt badly about myself because of what I did to him. And it was like yesterday, that I had those feelings, especially the one of feeling bad about how I treated him, and basically projecting onto him or displacing onto him what I felt about myself. And so I felt badly about how I treated him, and I felt badly about myself in that it wasn't appropriate, it wasn't really toward him, and I just acted it out upon him. So then I realized that I did still, even all these years later, I needed to forgive myself. And so I processed that for a while, grieving the loss and praying about forgiving him. And then I saw that, that is only completed, that process, that healing process is only completed as I learn to love myself again, not in the sense of a selfishness, but to stop resenting myself. I didn't even remember that I resented myself. I didn't even remember this incident until I saw about his death. And so I went through that process of, grieving the loss first, because that was the thing that was impressed upon me seeing his obituary. And then I had to forgive myself because I felt badly again about myself, as though it were yesterday that I treated him this way. And then only after I forgave myself did I realize that it's okay to forgive myself because God forgives me. I'm sure that now that he's in heaven, he'll forgive me. And and now I need to love myself by not resenting myself anymore for it and treating myself in the way that I know that I should, taking care of myself, taking care of my health, taking care of my spiritual health, my physical health, my mental and emotional health, and doing what I know is right, uh, both to myself and to others. I can't love anybody else if I don't know how to love myself, because I can't give away what I don't have. So I had a personal example today that I thought would be appropriate to share. It's not very flattering. I don't feel very proud about it, but it is real. It is a memory that happened, and I thought it would be appropriate to share as an example of how these things occur in our lives and how we need to process them if we want to be whole. And so I thought I'd share that with you, and hopefully that's a good example for you. Maybe you can take that and process some memories that you have, if that ever comes up for you, and realize that God wants us to forgive ourselves because He's forgiven us. God wants us to grieve our losses because we're promised that we're going to receive comfort. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. And He wants us to love ourselves, not in a selfish way, but in a stewardship way, taking care of ourselves so that we can love others as we love ourselves. So that's what I wanted to share today. I hope that this is a blessing and an encouragement for you to process things that are personal for you and experience healing through that forgiveness, through that proper grief, and through proper stewardship love for yourself so that you can love others as you love yourself. So I hope you have a great not holiday, but I hope you have a great Sabbath. It's a holy day and a holy day of rest and rejuvenation so that we can go about doing God's will next week. And God willing, I'll see you next week. Okay, take care. Bye.